Hi, I'm Jade, and this is the second demonstration video of our online enrollment system. I'm going to discuss the revisions and also some parts of the system that were not included from the first demonstration video. So first, what I'm going to do is discuss this outline that you're seeing right now. The first in the list is the curriculum module. This one is already included in the system. We just didn't give emphasis on this part from our first video, so I'm going to try to dig deep right into it later on. It's the same case with the second item of this list, which is the file upload of documentary requirements. For example, Form 137, Good Moral, Report Card, and many other things required upon the enrollment. Third is the slots or the available seats per section. So instead of setting a number of slots per section, we should be able to apply the number of slots to all the sections at once. Next is the generation of class list or printing the class list. We just did a little improvement, and that is we can now create a class list for any professor that we want. So in the class list, we can see that specific professor's name with the subject that they are teaching, and of course the list of students enrolled on that particular subject. Next are the bulk actions, registration and grade inputs. It's tedious on the part of the registrar, for example, to register and input the grades of the students enrolled individually in every semester. So what we did is show and filter the list of students enrolled in a particular section and do these actions to all those filtered students at once. Next one is the consideration of the UniFast scholarship beneficiaries. We should be able to clear all the fees from the students' assessment. And next is to consider other payment methods like paying cash and using debit or credit cards for those non-PayPal users or students. The last from this list is the notifications, like sending a notification of students' registration status, the transactions, and also the downloadable link for their COR. Yeah, I think we are now ready to move on to the system demonstration and see this list in action. Thank you. Okay, so now we're on the admin's account. What you're seeing is the curriculum maintenance. So this is where we can manage all the curriculums for all the programs. So let's try adding a new curriculum. Here we can enter the code. For example, BSIT 2023. So let's just select the program. Let's activate this curriculum, and let's just say set a random date. Example, this one. Let's try to save it. As you can see, this new curriculum is now active. The other curriculum, which is 2021, is inactive state. So this state is what it does is it's just a way for the system to identify which curriculum are we going to apply to the newly registered freshmen. So yeah, however, that's just adding the curriculum. But where can we manage the subjects for these particular curriculums? So let's say we want to add the subjects for this BSIT 2023 curriculum. Let's just go to the prospectus module. This is where we can manage all the subjects from any curriculum. So let's say we want to add a subject from this first year and first semester. Here we can select the subject, the number of units. This option is just if you want the subject to be computed. There's a green dot and red dot indicator. So let's try to add this one. As you can see, it's being added. If you want, how about the prerequisite? Let's try to add a prerequisite. So for the second semester, you can just add another subject. Advanced database system, and let's say we want this to have a prerequisite from the first semester. We can just choose for example, this is a prerequisite of this particular course, Advanced Database Systems. So as you can see here, it's being added. So after we can manage all these subjects from this particular curriculum, is gonna be how it looks like when it's finished. So you can see all the subjects from first year up to the last year of stay of the students. This is the second semester. Select the first semester also, just to see. So this is what we can view from the admin side. So how about this on the student side? So let's try to log in a student account. I'm just gonna log in another student account. So I'm on the students account right now, and if we click this prospectus, we can see all the subjects we need to take, and we can also see our grades from the right side of this table. So let's say I want to see all my subjects on my fourth year, first semester and second semester. And yeah, that's it for the first part. Okay, now we're on the second part of our demonstration, and that is the file uploads of documentary requirements. So where can we do that? As a student, we just need to go to our profile page. Here we can see our information. We can also edit this out, but let's just focus on the file uploads here on the lower part of this profile page. Let's just click the choose files button, and let's say I want to upload my good moral and report card. Just click open and wait for it to load. So, and then click save. So let's just see, success file has been uploaded. As you can see, we have successfully uploaded our good moral and report card. But this is on the student side. How can a registrar see these files of this particular student? So let's log in as a registrar. So let's say I want to see those files. Let's just look for that student, and it's this one. So personal profile, you can see here the student's information on the lower part. So you can see good moral and report card. Let's say I want to download the good moral. Just click this download button and wait for the file to be downloaded. You can see here. And yeah, that's it for the second part of this demonstration. So the third part of this demonstration is the slots, number of slots, or the available seats per section. So let's say, for example, I want to add another section. Let's just name it as PSIT 1B. Select PSIT first year, first semester, the room. Click save, and as you can see, we have successfully created PSIT 1B section with the same number of slots as the PSIT 1A. But where can we change these values, this number of slots? You just need to go to the admin settings and look for the max maximum slots per section. So you can see here, you can update it. And as when you add another section, so this value will be automatically be referenced from this section module, which is, as you can see here, we have a maximum number of seats of 40, as we have inputted here on the admin settings. So yeah, this is the third part of this demo. So the next part is creating or printing the class list. Let's say we want to create a class list for this particular professor and this particular subject, and see the students enrolled on this subject. So as of now, I have done setting this up. I have enrolled 5 individual students. You can confirm that just by going the registration list, just by clicking here. So let's try to click this now. So as you can see, we have 5 different registrations for 5 individual students. They have the same semester, same section, and they have this same status, which is enrolled. If you go back on the section module, we have currently 5 students occupied the seats from the 5 seats from this particular section, which is BSIT 1A first semester. Here, first semester. So just close that now for now. Then if we want to print a class list, for example, let's say this professor right here, the subject is mathematics in the modern world, and just click this print class list action button on the right side of this row, and in the new tab will be redirected to this PDF, which is the 5 students enrolled in this course, which is the mathematics in the modern world, and this particular professor we chose. So yeah, if we want, let's say for example, to create a class list from Introduction to Computing, Professor Conrad, again, click this button, and the name will be automatically be replaced. Comp 101, students enrolled under this subject, the 5 same students. This is the second demonstration video of our online enrollment system. I'm going to discuss the revisions and also some parts of the system that were not included from the first demonstration video. So first, what I'm going to do is discuss this outline that you're seeing right now. The first in the list is the curriculum module. This one is already included in the system. We just didn't give emphasis on this part from our first video, so I'm going to try to dig deep right into it later on. It's the same case with the second item of this list, which is the file upload of documentary requirements. For example, Form 137, Good Moral, Report Card, and many other things required upon the enrollment. Third is the slots or the available seats per section. So instead of setting a number of slots per section, we should be able to apply the number of slots to all the sections at once. Next is the generation of class list or printing the class list. We just did a little improvement, and that is we can now create a class list from for any professor that we want. So in the class list, we can see that specific professor's name with the subject that they are teaching, and of course the list of students enrolled on that particular subject. Next are the bulk actions, registration and grade inputs. It's tedious on the part of the registrar, for example, to register and input the grades of the students enrolled individually in every semester. So what we did is show and filter the list of students enrolled in a particular section and do these actions to all those filtered students at once. Next one is the consideration of the UniFast scholarship beneficiaries. We should be able to clear all the fees from the student's assessment. And next is to consider other payment methods like paying cash and using debit or credit cards for those non-PayPal users or students. The last from this list is the notifications, like sending a notification of students' registration status, the transactions, and also the downloadable link for their COR. Yeah, I think we are now ready to move on to the system demonstration and see this list in action. Thank you. So now I want to talk about what if we want to consider a student is a beneficiary of UniFast scholarship. As you can see here, I have already created a registration for this particular student with the status of pending. Let's just view this registration. You can see here the subjects required for this semester. Let's just select a section first. So we can apply a schedule for this student. Let's just wait for it to load, and yes, it is reflected here, the schedule for this particular student. Now we want to submit and confirm if all data presented here are correct. If you're okay with that, let's just go to the assessment part where we can see the scholarship option or UniFast scholarship. Here I want to just compute the grand total as if the student is not a UniFast scholarship beneficiary. You can see here the total amount, the summary fees, here the total and the running back, the total amount, on these below you can see the payment breakdown. I'm going to talk about that later on. Let's just focus first on the UniFast scholarship. We have a total of 1,650. So what if this particular student is a beneficiary of UniFast scholarship? You can just cancel this assessment first and go on to the here. You can just select yes, this student is a beneficiary of UniFast scholarship. If you compute the grand total, we only have now 0. So all the fees are cleared. This particular student doesn't need to pay for the total amount of the required fees here, listed in here in the details. So let's just face fees. As you can see, we have automatically enrolled the student because we have 0 payment, because this student is a UniFast scholarship beneficiary. As you can see here in the running balance, 0. We can now proceed to payment. So that's it on the part of the considering UniFast scholarship beneficiary. So now let's talk about the other payment methods. I'm just gonna use this same registration of this student that I have used earlier. Again, the status is finalized. Here on the initial assessment of fees, you can just select this UniFast scholarship as known, so that you can still have a total amount. So let's focus here on the payment breakdown. On this field, we can see a down payment of 30%. So 30% of the total amount will be the down payment. Where is this down payment percentage coming from? Later on, I'll show you how we can set the value of this down payment. But for now, let's focus on the other fields here. So for this due date, this is for the due date for the down payment. So now, tonight is December 18. So let's say we give the student 3 days to pay for the down payment. So here, the payment type, we can select a full payment or a partial payment. So for the partial payment, the remaining balance is subtracted from the total amount. So that would be 1,155. That's the remaining balance. If we want to pay the full pay, if we want to choose the full payment, but if we choose the partial payment, it will be divided into 2. But here on the due date, instead of 1, we are now having 2. 1 for the midterm and 1 for the finals. So what is the advantage of choosing the full payment? So if a student, for example, want to choose this full payment as a payment type, we can give this particular student a discount amount. So let's say we want to give a percentage discount of 10% for this particular student, and choose the full payment as a payment type. As you can see here, it is already computed the 10% discount. We now only have 1,485, and the down payment is now only down to 445.50 pesos, and the amount due is only 1,039.50 pesos. So to finalize this assessment, just set a date. So it's just an example of setting the date. Then if you're okay with that, let's just face fees. Now we can proceed to the payment. You can see here the final assessment details. assessment, the summary of fees, and the payment breakdown. To proceed to the payment, you can see 3 different buttons here. As you can see, this is the green text here is the due date for our down payment, which is 445 pesos. You can choose a 3 different payment method. First is the cash, so the student will go to the university personally to pay for the down payment, which is the amount to pay, 145.50 pesos. So let's choose the cash amount. So let's say the student go to the university personally, paid for the amount to pay. Let's okay, payment completed. Now this down payment is paid, and the amount to pay left is the remaining balance, just 1,039 pesos. So that's it if we chose the cash as a payment method. So let's log in as this student. So notification is also a part of revisions. So as you can see here, payment method completed. We have this notification of status enrolled. As you can see, as soon as we have paid the down payment, the student will be automatically enrolled. So there's no need to manually enroll this particular student. As long as the down payment is paid, it will be automatically tagged as enrolled. So in the notification, the link for the COR is attached. So if you click this link, will be redirected to the COR. Let's just wait for it to load. As you can see here, the pre-registration info, student details, schedule, this part is the fees, and officially enrolled. Okay, now we're done with the cash method. Now I'm gonna demonstrate the PayPal method for the payment. So here we can see the initial assessment of fees. We are logged in as a student, so you can see the payment type, full payment, the amount, the down payment, which is 30%, the amount due, the remaining balance would be after this down payment. So the due date for this amount due December 27. The total amount is 1,650. Let's proceed to the payment. Let's select the PayPal. As a student, you shouldn't be able to select the cash, so we're going to select the PayPal. So try to log in the account. Just wait for it to load. So 495 pesos is converted to $9. This is the PayPal's conversion rate, USD to peso. So as you can see, success payment completed. Have outlined this due date for down payment, which means we're done paying the down payment. We still have a 1,555 running balance, which is the next amount to pay for the date of December 21 until December 27. It says here it will only accept payments according to designated due dates. So yeah, as soon as we have paid our down payment, we will see the notification down payment for 195 pesos and the notification for the registration status. So along with this notification, there is a link for the downloadable COR. Let's try to open it. And this is our COR: registration info, student details, personal details, the class schedules, the assessment of fees, and here officially enrolled. So yeah, along with the transaction, next one is the registration status and the link for the downloadable COR is attached. Yeah, that's it for the PayPal method for the payment. So now what if we don't have it? A particular student is a non-PayPal user, and that student wanna consider paying for the amount to pay through a credit card or debit card. So we're gonna use this particular registration. As you can see, status is finalized, and here the final assessment of fees, the total amount, running balance, same payment type for payment. So now let's proceed to payment. Here, as you can see, you can choose the cash method, PayPal. I have already demonstrated it. Also the cash method. Now you're going to choose this debit or credit card. So as you can see, I have to fill this up. Let me just skip this part so that can consume less time for this video. So yeah, I'm done filling out this information or form. Let's now proceed paying this amount, which is 495 pesos, which is the down payment. So here, no thanks. Payment completed. Crossed out means we are done paying for this amount, which is the down payment. Our next amount to pay from December 22 to December 31 is 1,155, which is the remaining balance. So see here, will only accept payments according to designated due dates unless penalty is given. Later on, I'm gonna talk about this penalty and how it works. So as soon as we have paid our down payment, as expected, we have received these notifications, completed amount, and the status enrolled. Attach the link of our COR. So yeah, that is all for the part of the payment, other payment methods, the cash, the PayPal, and the debit or credit card. So earlier I have mentioned about the penalties, and now I'm gonna explain how this works. First, I'm going to show you here the where we can change the values of our percentages of the down payment and the penalty. So now let's go to the demonstration of how this penalty works. Let's select a particular registration. See this one. So this particular student is, so the due date of this registration is December 1 for the down payment. So it's just an example for the late payments. And what if we still want to consider this student to be enrolled? Let's proceed to the payment breakdown. Here, as you can see, late payment for December 1 will be able to pay once the university issued a penalty. So here the due date with the red text here, December 1, is already late. Amount to pay is 495 pesos. We want to issue a penalty for the student because of the late payments. 30% of the amount to pay will be added, so a total of 30% of the 495 is here 148.50 pesos. So issue a penalty for this student. Now we should be able to pay the amount to pay, down payment, plus the penalty of 30%, which is 148, a total of 643.50. So let's say we want to pay, the student want to pay by cash. Okay, let's just wait to be now. Payment completed. December 1 is done. So the next due date will be the January 1, which is amount due 577.50. This is a partial payment, so the remaining balance of 1,155 will be divided into two: midterm for the midterm and 40 finals. So let's view this student. Let's log in as this student. And log in. As you can see here, let's see if we have received that. Yes, we have received the notification payment amount. This is just the notification of the registration also. Let's view this payment breakdown here. Now we can choose the PayPal debit card as a student to pay for this amount due of 577. Notification here says it's 495, so the penalty here is not included. If we go to the transaction, you can see here the penalty is added with the red text below just the amount to pay. So penalty is 30% of the amount to pay, 148. So still have a remaining balance of still 1,155. Payment completed. So earlier I have demonstrated the bulk action for grade inputs. Now we will do the bulk action for the registration. So for example, we want to enroll all the students for the next semester, second semester. So let's see their grades. I gave them a passing grade, and all of these registrations or students have a Unipass scholarship beneficiary, so we won't have a running balance. Let's try to register. So this action will filter students who are eligible for enrollment. Those who have no running balance and don't have any field subjects will be selected. Should be able to select all these 3 students. So let's say for example we gave this one student a feeding grade. Shouldn't be able to have a regular load for the next semester. So for example, getting grade, select again, then register. Should be only select these two students right here. It's expected. So let's try to enroll. I think let's just include the other students, so we have 3 students to enroll. So right here we will unlock the passing grade. So again, let's select all again and register. Click OK to confirm. Now click register. Let's just wait for it to be finished. So this finished. So as soon as it is finished, you will be notified. The SIT pre-registration just finished. So we have no students found from this. If we check the registrations, we have 3 pending registrations. So the registrations from the first semester will be automatically be archived. If we chose this archive, we should be able to see those registrations here. They are already archived. So let's go back to who are currently active. Will show those active registrations. All 3 are pendings. So yeah, that's it for the demonstration part 2 or the revisions of our system. Thank you.